Jason, and thanks for tuning into my channel, Pips-N-Chits. Today, I'm going to be unboxing the recently released here at the end of 2021, a brand new game by Thunderworks Studios, and that is the 1 to 4 player game, Cape May. Now, honestly, I hadn't even heard of Cape May. It wasn't even on my radar until I saw a few playthroughs on some other channels. And once I saw those playthroughs, I was instantly enamored with not only the look and overall feel of it. It looks like a family-friendly game, relatively easy to teach and easy to learn. But at the same time, I liked the time period it takes place in. It looks like it's somewhere in the Victorian era, possibly the early 1900s, maybe the late 1800s. And you're developing both residential and commercial properties there in Cape May, New Jersey. Now, in order to develop those properties, you're going to move your meeples around the board, or your player meeple around the board, and you can only move based on how many the cards that you have in your hand and how far your meeples can move. And during that time, you're going to go ahead and make decisions on developing either a residential property or a commercial property. And depending on the exact environment or neighborhood that you're in, some of those are going to be worth more than others. Namely, so beachfront properties, of course, are going to be more lucrative, where properties that are closer to the gravel or dirt areas are going to be cheaper to build, but they're also going to be worth less victory points. Now, the game itself is played over a total of 12 rounds, those rounds being divided into a monthly time segment, if you will, over the 4 different seasons. And as the round tracker moves around the board there through spring and summer, fall and winter times, players are going to be pulling events. And those events might be beneficial or detrimental, or possibly even a combination of both of those, depending on the season and where players have already developed those properties. Now, those properties too can be upgraded over time. You're going to start with just some simple commercial buildings, some simple residential homes, but through the course of the game, as you earn more money, as you gain a little bit more of an engine going, you're going to be able to upgrade those properties into some plastic pieces, cute little plastic miniatures, and we'll take a look at that in a few minutes there. There's also another way to earn victory points, not just through the development of properties, but maybe a different strategy is collecting birds. Yep, you're going to be moving around the board, and there's certain locations on the board where you're going to pull blindly out of a bag some tokens, and those tokens will have different pictures of birds on them. And at the end of the game, depending on how many birds you've caught, and or maybe possibly how many in a special suit, or if you will, a flight of birds, if you will, they're going to be worth additional victory points there at the end of the game. So enough about the talking. Let's take it down to the table and let's look at the back side of the box, and then we'll dig right into the front side. Now that I have Cape May here at the tabletop, you can see it's designed by Eric Masso, and I still have the cellophane on it. We'll go ahead and take that cellophane off, and we'll go ahead and turn the box over so we can read more of the back. And go ahead and take that off. We're going to turn the game over. Let me center it here. It is for ages 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, and that's 60 to 120 minutes. It says Cape May, America's oldest seaside resort. Cape May, New Jersey has been a popular getaway for families from New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. since the late 1700s. But Cape May was never immune to hardship. Racked by devastating fires, extreme beach erosion, swarms of mosquitoes, and intense competition from surrounding areas, the town and its residents struggled their way through the 19th and 20th century. During this turbulent time, players attempt to develop Cape May into the queen of the seaside resorts. So flipping the box over, let's go ahead and pull the cover off here. Put that aside. All right, we have some plastic pieces here, big chunky pieces in 4 primary colors: blue, green, red, and yellow. And these look like these are commercial businesses here. You get an idea of what the commercial businesses are once you upgrade them. So we'll go ahead and put that bag aside. And basically same 4 colors, but this time we're going to go ahead and take a look at the actual Victorian houses. And right here you can see I have a red Victorian house. And put that back in the bag, and pretty good chunky pieces here for both of those. We have a bag of bases, and these are all white in color, but I believe that once you upgrade components, it kind of looks like a fence around here. You're going to go ahead and put your commercial buildings or your residential buildings in here just to show another layer, if you will, of upgrades that take place over a period of time. Next up, we have a bag of bags here, some mylar bags or plastic bags to contain additional pieces. Put that aside. We have a fabric bag. This is going to be your bird bag, I assume, where we're going to put our tokens in of birds, and we're going to mix it up, and every so often we're going to draw our tokens out of there. We have a pack of cards here, and let's go ahead and open these up, see what's inside. Just regular size of playing cards, and different colors here. These are going to be your movement cards for the different players. So this will be your starting hand of cards, and this is going to dictate how far you can move your meeples per round. And of course there's ways to get those cards back every so often, so we have them for all the different the 4 primary colors here. We have our event cards here that look like newspaper on one side, and we have events on the other side with a little flavor text or lore down there, which is really neat. Again, very definitive of that time period there. So we have those cards, and there's plenty here that, again, every game that you're going to play, you're probably, not always see all the same cards, so a lot of replayability. We have these cards right here, which I'm not quite sure. These look like these are certain objective cards. These cards here, players are going to start off with one and have an additional chance or chances to gain additional cards here, and again, it's going to give you victory points at the end of the game if completed, and bonus points down here, and all of these are going to be different as well. Next up, we have a bag of meeples. We have some, looks like they're woodcut meeples, and we have both female and male characters in primary colors here. For the players involved. We have additional cards here. I'm not quite sure what those are, but we can find out in a minute. We've got 2 packs of cards here. I believe one of them might be for the solo play, We'll find out what these ones are here in a second. We have a plastic miniature of a lighthouse. So we'll go ahead and take that out. White, I don't know. Maybe I might paint this, maybe I won't, not sure. I think it's, more or less neutral, but it'd be kind of cool to paint that up just for some kicks there. That might be pretty nice to paint. Okay, let's go ahead and put that aside. By the way, really good weight to that too. That one's not so flimsy. All right, we have our Cape May rule book. And it looks like it's 19 pages here all together. Let's find out what those cards are. Oh yeah, okay, so we have 12 solo cards, some bonus cards, and this pack here is our upgrade cards. Again, list of our components here, the objective of the game, how to set the game up. Really nice, pretty colors here. Good call outs here on everything. It's all numbered here on the manual, and then we have corresponding numbers here on the opposing page. how to play section starts on page number 5. We're going to talk about special spaces, the bird space, the lighthouse space, and the pier space. The different actions you can take: upgrading, building, drawing cards, playing cards, retrieving movement cards, how to get those cards back into your hand after you play them. We're going to advance the lighthouse. This is your round tracker here. Our first player token, I assume, is going to be those spy glasses or binoculars, if you will. A discussion of activity cards, some iconography here, how to upgrade cards, how game end, and then final scoring here, done on pages 13 and 14. And then we have a section starting on page 15 on solo play, and that's what I'm going to be really interested in here. But I'm sure my wife will want to play this as well, and then solo final scoring there. So let's go ahead and put the rule book aside. Very nice. I really dig that. We have Thunderwork game. We have a little catalog inside showing their catalog for 2021 and some of the games that you might be familiar with. Role Player, some of the Role Player expansions. What else do we have in here? Cartographers, Cartographer Heroes, some other map packs, etc., etc. But Theme Park, and of course Cape May. We have our 4 player boards, if you will, in the 4 primary colors we discussed before. These are double-sided here, showing the sequence of play on one side, and on this side, you know, what things are going to cost in what environment, how much you're going to pay for residential and commercial, how much points they're worth, and how much it's going to cost to upgrade those. And I believe this is how many movement or not movement, but action points that you have, or how many actions per turn. And you're going to use a counter on here to kind of keep track of how many actions you can do per turn. We have actions on the left-hand side, and of course, final scoring. Now is the board. Really nice board. Oh wow, it's bigger than I thought. It's a trifold board, and I don't know, is it double-sided? It is. Wow, look at that. Very pretty here. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this whole board in here, but it looks like there are 2 sides to this. I don't know if that is based on player count or a variant here, but you can see, let me turn it a little bit. And you're going to see just the really pretty artwork on here, and some of the outline town. This is the actual board. There's a lot of one-way streets. Your meeples are only going to move on these certain streets in one direction. You can see here is a bird space, another bird space, a couple different places around here where you're going to be able to draw from the bag. And let's flip this over. And yeah, I'm not quite sure. I apologize. Oh, it does look like it's based on player counts. So down here in the corner, this looks like here it's for 3 to 4 players, where I'm assuming this side might be, I don't know, 1 to 2 players. So let me kind of flip that around a little bit. So down here you can see right here a player count of 1 to 2. So depending on how many players you have, it's going to be dependent on what side of the board you're going to play on. And finally, it looks like we have our punch outs here. These are your starting tokens. We have our monies in different denominations. We have our residential homes right here. We have some commercial properties. We have some collection of birds, and it says right here, punch board 1 of 5. I'll turn that over so you can see that a little bit better. Punch board 1 of 5. They are double-sided. Of course, denominations of 1, 5, and 10. We're going to see birds on one side, but more definitive birds, or better idea of what those birds are on this side. So let's go ahead and move to the second board. Same thing, we can see different birds here. This looks like a heron of some sort, and more of the same commercial and residential, more coins, different colors for victory points, if you will, or maybe some kind of prestige or something based on the 50 on one side, and flip it over, you have 100. Here is for the red player. We have yet a different bird, of course. Again, more of the same type of tokens here. Double-sided, and board number 4 for the yellow player. And I actually don't know my birds very well, so I can't really tell you what those birds are. But punch board 5. We have a whole mess of birds on here, and we have some special ones. We have a hot air balloon. It looks like we have a blimp or a dirigible of some sort with, I'm assuming these are point values, 2 and 3. We have a couple birds here with some question marks on them, so they might be a wild card, or points based on a collection of other things that you might have. We have cardinals and more herons. We have some owls here, and of course our first player token, and there is the back side there. So those are your 5 punch boards, and with that we're pretty much done with the unboxing of Cape May. So again, I hope you got a good idea of the beautiful artwork involved here. The production value looks really nice. Again, I might go ahead and paint that little token up here, or the monument of the lighthouse. Go ahead and put this back so you can see how it all fits back in. This is the rondelle, if you will, or the player, or the round tracker, and you can see pretty clear the different seasons that you're going to get here: winter, spring, summer, and fall, and times that you're going to be drawing event cards here. Again, our 4 player boards, if you will, our catalog, our rule book, our bag, a bunch of cards. I'm going to put that all back in there, and of course some nice big chunky heavy miniatures. I'm really looking forward to playing this game. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my unboxing here. Hope to see you at the table, and of course, if you have any questions or comments or critiques, go ahead and leave them in that comment section below. Anyway, my name is Jason, and thanks for watching this unboxing here at Pips-N-Chits.